Oh, right.
No better, I see.
Oh, real stinking of a cold, this one.
I'd take it easy if I were you, Siegfried.
Yes, I mean too. It's bad news for you, I'm afraid. And you'll have to carry the whole burden yourself, James.
That's no great problem, providing the visiting list is reasonable.
Yes. Well, it is.
Oh, yes, thanks. 2 herds to inoculate, 3 castrations, 7 post-operative examinations. Siegfried, I never cope with this lot.
Don't dramatise, James. They're just in and out jobs. Be a piece of cake, you'll see.
What about surgery?
Don't worry about that. We'll fit it in somehow.
Morning.
Morning.
How's the cold, Siegfried?
If one could rely on certain parties to do their fair share of the work, one's cold might be better. I might not even have a cold at all.
Now, it's not my fault you're in an unhealthy state.
And if I could sit in a room without it being foul with tobacco smoke...
Now, you smoke too, you know. In fact, we all smoke in this house.
No, I don't. Not anymore. Filthy habit.
Oh, I see. The fanatical zeal of the ex-smoker?
Oh, go on. Poison your body. Stunt your growth. Kill yourself for all I care.
I'll go.
They won't let him. You've got your visits to prepare.
Hello, Tristan. Is James Herriot in?
Yes, of course. I'll fetch him, Helen.
Thank you.
Psst, James.
What? Who is that?
It's her, Helen Alderson. Helen? She wants to see you. Well, what are you waiting for?
Oh, it's a bit embarrassing, isn't it? After that dancing the other night. The last time she saw me, I was so pie-eyed I couldn't stand.
Oh, go on, get in there. Wait! Just back from the laundry. Right. You're marvellous. You're immaculate young surgeon. Perfect. Now wait, I'll show her in. Mr. Herriot will see you now, Miss Alderson.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tristan.
You sure you don't need any help?
Well, if I do, I'll call.
Excuse me.
Thank you. Hello, Helen.
Hello, James. It's Dan. He jumped over a wall this morning, and I think he's hurt himself rather badly.
Right, let's have him up on the table, shall we?
Come on, Dan. Up we go.
It's a good dog.
I hope it's nothing serious. He's as much a pet as a working dog.
Good dog. I'm afraid he has a dislocated hip, Helen. It's nasty. Still, with luck, I should be able to put it back.
And if you can't?
He'd have to form a false joint, and on top of that, he'd be lame for months. The fact that you brought him in so promptly means he has a very good chance. I'll get Tristan. It's a bit of a two-man job.
Oh, couldn't I help?
Well, I'm not sure you'd like playing tug-of-war with Dan in the middle.
Oh, I'm quite strong and not a bit squeamish.
All right. You slip on a coat and we'll get to it. I'm going to use Nembutal. It's a new American drug. It's all right. Knock him out in seconds. Sit.
Did you enjoy the dance last Saturday?
Well, I'm surprised to see you there.
Ah, you do remember.
Of course I remember. Not a very pleasant memory either, considering the state I was in.
You seem to be having a nice time. How's Connie?
Oh, Connie? Oh, I don't know. Well, that was the first and last time we met. You're having me on, aren't you?
Just a bit.
Well, come on, we've got work to do.
Whatever you say, James.
Do you see you up to, Tristan? Shh. What's going on in there?
It's James and Helen.
job look so easy?
Have you no scruples, man?
I imagined it would be more difficult.
Come away, Tristan.
Thank you, James. That was a wonderful piece of work.
I had a good assistant. Helen,
Yes.
remember when we had dinner that time, you said that you were interested in Scotland?
Yes.
Well, I was passing the plaza the other day. They are showing a film about the Hebrides.
Oh, really?
The point is, I was wondering... Well, I thought perhaps you might like to see it with me.
That would be lovely. When?
Well, I thought maybe Friday evening?
Fine. I'll see you then.
Good. I'll get down into the car.
I'll open the door.
Good morning. I won't keep you waiting long.
Oh, Mr. Farnham, will you and Mr. Harriet be back to lunch?
No, thanks, Mrs. Hall. We give it a miss today.
Aye, just as you like.
Thank you.
Who's first on the list?
Daubys, I think. Yes. Do you know them, James?
No, I heard you mention them, though.
You like them. Grand little family. My God, the struggles they've had to survive. Convicts sentenced to hard labour couldn't have had it worse than that.
It amazes me the way some of these hill farmers manage to stick it out.
Pride, James. Sheer, stubborn pride that refuses to quit. And we think we know these people. We think we can understand their problems, sympathise with their hardships, but we can't. We only see what they want us to see. The cheerful smiles, the cups of tea, the food they offer us, which means they go without, be sure of that. They're a breed apart. We can't begin to understand the frightening day-to-day reality of their lives. Tell you, James, they'll break softies like us in no time.
You like the Dalbys, don't you?
Yes, they possess an exceptional quality. The unbreakable human spirit. Anyway, seems that their efforts have met with some reward. Billy Dalby's managed to scrape enough money together to get himself some decent cows at last. So, we'll go and have a look at them, shall we?
Right.
Hello, come on, Buck. No, you better stay away. Come on, come on. Hello, Charlie.
Hello, Mr. Farnham.
This is them, then, is it?
Hi.
Huh?
Steady, 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 steady.
Is the family about?
Hi, house. Steady, girl. Steady, steady, steady.
Come on, William, love. Eat up now. There's a good... Mr. Farnham!
Hello, Billy. Mrs. Dalby.
Morning, Mr. Farnham.
I say, William, you've grown some. Soon be able to put your father out to grass, won't you?
You'll take a mug of tea and some pie with us, won't you?
No, not today, Mrs. Dalby. We haven't got much time, you see. Now, you don't know my assistant, Mr. Harriet.
We're pleased to meet you, Mr. Harriet.
How do you do, Mrs. Dalby?
Mr. Harriet?
Mr. Dalby?
Well, now then, Billy, I've looked at those cows. They are a fine lot, aren't they?
And they're all ours, Mr. Farnham.
Off you go, lad. Give Charlie a hand to get them ready for Mr. Farnham.
Yes, Dad. Try, Mr. Farnham.
Bye, William. I'll see you in a moment.
Lad doesn't know whether he's coming or going. Us getting that herd, we're like giving him all his Christmas presents rolled into one. Ain't that so, Billy?
I'm sure we all feel a bit the same, lass. Anyway, Mr. Farnham, it's kind of you to drop by.
Not a bit of it, Billy. We'll take a closer look at those cows, and then Mr. Harriet can come out later and give them the test.
I'll come with you.
No need to do that.
I'd prefer it if you don't mind. I mean, it's the first chance I've had to show them off kind of thing.
What a good idea. On we go. I'll take these out.
Mr. Harriet,
All right.
next time you'll share a pot of tea with us, I hope.
I'll look forward to that, Mrs. Dalby.
Good.
James, have you read this article about Rains Abbey?
What about it?
Well, this chap here writes that several monks were massacred there in the 14th century.
So? Got a pen?
Yep. Well, it means that there's an historical basis for the ghost that's supposed to haunt the place.
Ghost?
Yes. The cowled monk. Ghost of Rains Abbey.
Rot and superstition, Tristan. Just people with overheated imaginations.
Ah, you may scoff. Remember what Shakespeare said? There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than anyone might...
Don't talk rubbish, Tristan. Anyway, I'm off.
Huh?
Yes. I've got a date with Helen, actually. I'm taking her to the plaza. Have I said something wrong?
No. It's just... Well, the plaza, James, it's hardly very enterprising, is it?
Ah, Enterprise. Now, I tried Enterprise, Tristan, when I took her to that dinner dance, remember? And it was a shambles. So tonight, I play safe.
Well, you'll find nowhere safer than Darrowby Plaza, I assure you.
Good. A nice, quiet evening. No disasters. Just a job. Bye.
4 strong men sat round a table and there was peace in Europe. 4 strong men return home.
Cartoon seats, last 3 rows.
The tricolor on buildings and jam-packed streets for the return of Monsieur Daladier and the answer of France.
Excuse me.
Hey, up there, veteran.
Hello, Mr. Newhouse.
Hey, are you having a night out then, are you? Hey, no hanky-panky, Mark, eh? She's dead.
Dead?
Aye. I don't think it went out to do with her stomach, neither.
I'm sorry to hear that,
And
Mr.
you're right from start, you on wrong track. I've been around beach nigh on 40 years. And they never goes like that when it's the stomach.
You don't say.
For one thing, a beast with a bad stomach is all a heart didn't muck. And you'll think back, young fella, this one's muck was soft. It were right soft.
Arizona guns? What's happening? This can't be set in Scotland.
They sometimes change the films here without letting anyone know. Nobody seems to mind.
Well, I do.
Hey, watch it! Watch it! On!
You're all right, Helen.
Morning, Mrs. Hall.
Morning.
That looks good. Shall I try some?
No.
Yes, of course, Mr. Cranford. Well, if it's what you say it is, there'll be no problem, will there?
Morning.
Morning, James. Hello.
Morning, James.
Yes, I'll look out sometime this afternoon.
Morning, Mrs. Hall.
Morning.
Well, how did it go last night?
Oh, fine. Fine.
You mean Helen actually enjoyed the plaza?
One of the best nights she's spent in years, so she says.
Will you stop that? It were out again last night.
Out again? What was
The
Mrs. Hall?
ghost of Rains Abbey.
No.
Well, Tom Weatherby and his missus were up that way. That's where they saw it.
They probably imagined it, Mrs. Hall.
You see, James, there must be something to it.
Well, you wouldn't catch me up there at that time of night, I'll tell you.
James, what are you all doing in here? James, I want you to add Isaac Cranford to your afternoon visits.
Isaac Cranford.
Yeah, he's one of the big landowners around here. Sour old devil. Tight as a drumskin with his brass.
What's his problem?
He says one of his beasts has been struck by lightning. Have a look at it. If it's true, sign a certificate of insurance for him, will you?
I don't remember a storm in the last few days, do you?
No, but you can't tell until you've seen it, can you? Be on your guard, James. He's a cunning old devil. Mrs. Hall, have you got any of those brown leather bookcases?
Aye, and that cupboard top shelf.
Good, thank you very much. Just what I want. You'll find his place up beyond Rains Abbey.
Who knows, James? Might even get to see the monk.
Monk? What monk?
I was telling James about the ghost of Rains Abbey.
The dash, Tristan. What have I said to you about smoking?
This is only my second today.
That is a downright lie. It's your fourth or fifth to my certain knowledge.
Like I said, lightning.
I can't agree, Mr. Cranford. This beast died in convulsion. You can see where its feet kicked up the grass.
Aye. Convulsions. But if a lightning what caused it?
I doubt it. If it had, this beast would have died without a struggle.
I've seen many a beast struck by lightning, Victory. Not all the same, you know.
I think we should do a post-mortem just to make sure, Mr. Cranford.
Aye. Aye. That was a good beast. Worth all of £80.
I know it.
Then you'll sign the insurance certificate and stop fussing about.
Look, Mr. Cranford, if there's no other obvious cause of death, then we'll put it down to lightning. But I've got to check first.
Particular, aren't you? Well, I warn you, Victory. Press me on this and you'll be sorry.
I'll have Malak get it to his yard and do the post-mortem there.
Person.
Oh, damn ghost, Mrs. I forbid the subject mentioned in this house again. That goes for you too, Mrs. Hall.
It's a free country. Or it would be, if there weren't so many little Mr. Hitlers hereabouts.
What's this say? Now, see what you've done?
He?
Encouraging ridiculous superstitions in that poor woman. You are not to upset Mrs. Hall, Tristan.
Stagnation at lungs. Knew it as soon as I saw it.
What the hell are you talking about?
Stagnation at lungs, Mr. Cranford. You can always tell with look in the eye and lay it there along back.
Shut your stupid mouth, Malak. You know naught about it. That beast was struck by lightning. You'd best remember that.
Can we get it inside, Mr. Malak?
It ain't black rot nor gallstones what killed it, Mr. Elliot.
Who asked you?
You can't mistake stagnation at lungs, Mr. Cranford.
Stagnation of lungs?
Right, Mr. Malak, let's get it inside, shall we?
Aye, right.
Thanks, Mr. Mallock. That's what killed you, Mr. Cranford.
What am I supposed to do with this?
Read it, Mr. Cranford.
But I know what killed that beast.
Your beast died of acute heart failure, Mr. Cranford. It's all in there.
It's my £80 insurance money I'm thinking about, veterinary.
I'm sorry, it died of natural causes. You'll have to carry the loss, I'm afraid.
Now, look, Mr. Harriet, we're both men of the world, and you know as well as I do that the insurance company can stand the loss better than me. Besides, they wouldn't know, would they?
I would, Mr. Cranford.
Well, that's not going to bother the insurance company, is it?
No, but it would bother me.
Now, come on, man. Say it with lightning and that's an end to it.
I can't do that, Mr. Cranford, and that's final.
I see. Well, I'll not let the matter stop there. Your boss is going to hear about this, trying to tell me it were heart failure and all the time it were lightning. You know naught about stock, Mr. Jumped-Up Veterinary, naught!
Was what I said it was, Mr. Cranford. Stagnation at lungs, caused by poison in blood getting back into the body.
Shut your great gumph, Mallock! It were lightning what killed my beast. Lightning! You'll hear more of this, Mr. Knowledge. For a start, you'll not set foot on my farm again. And other folk will hear about it, too. You finished, Harriet? Do you hear? Finished?
Aye, it's a daft fella that can't accept scientific facts, Mr. Harriet. It's as plain as day his beast died of stagnation at lungs.
There you are. I wasn't about it. Oh, you are a sweetie pie. Oh, it was very good, wasn't it? You're a nice little lady, aren't you? Oh, James. James! What the devil have you done to Isaac Cranford?
Oh, had words with you, has he?
Words? Man's out of his mind. If thoughts were deeds, he'd have you roasting slowly over hot coals. What on earth happened?
He was caught trying to pull a fast one.
Says Beast wasn't struck by lightning, huh?
Lightning, my foot. He died of Verrucous endocarditis.
Endocarditis? No wonder he didn't believe you. Common enough in pigs, very, very rare in cattle.
I know. Well, rare or not, that's what killed it.
Send him on, send him on. You're going to see the miserable beggar in a short time. I'll soon sort him out.
Oh, still with us, is he?
Yes, worse luck. Can't get rid of him. Ah, then. Mrs. Selby. Here's Nellie. All right and tight. Now, you tell your Susan she'll be as right as a cat with two tails. Okay? Goodbye to you. Oh, he's too much of a skinflint to call in outside help now. So we're stuck with him, I suppose. Moans like hell whenever he has to pay. Gives me the creeps, too.
Perhaps you should just strike him off.
Now, James, wouldn't be ethical. He walked off his own accord, that's another matter, but he doesn't. Oh, well, I suppose I shall have to go and see that damn prize bore of his.
Good luck to you.
Thank you very much. Anyway, James, no need for you to worry at all. Ah. La, 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 la. That's a nasty sore, Mr. Cranford. He probably picked up a bit of something rubbing against the sty and it's turned septic.
What do you reckon's to be done about it then, Farnan?
I'll make you up a special ointment for it.
Right. Nothing fancy, mark you. Don't want you loading your bill as usual.
Pay for what you get, Mr. Cranford.
Too bloody much if you ask me.
You could always seek other advice, you know.
Reckon I'm stuck with you, Farnan.
Right, I'll post you the ointment when you get it. Rub it in carefully by hand, 4 times a day. You got that?
Aye, as long as it cures bore.
It will. Oh, end of the month's coming up. Perhaps you'd like to clear your bills for the last 6 months. Must keep the books in order, you know.
You'll get paid, Farnan. Never fear.
Right, I'll be off then. Thank you for the soap and water. And remember, the ointment's to be rubbed in 4 times a day, all right?
I heard you first time.
Well, I'll say goodbye.
Tris, you see my hoof knife?
No.
Damn. Must have left it at Denham's place.
Use Siegfried's.
Oh, good idea.
Caught red-handed!
I was just on my way to do Thompson's horse.
Uh-huh.
And I couldn't find my knife.
I see you lost yours, so you thought you'd thieve my brand new one, eh?
I put it back straight away.
As we heard that one before. Now, come on, James, confess. What's happened to your knife? A
Well,
knife, I may add, paid for with my hard-earned cash.
As a matter of fact, I left it at Willie Denham's place.
I see.
I'm sure he'll drop it in next time he's in town.
Well, I know of Denham. He'll consider it the ideal tool for cutting his plug tobacco. Now, James, it won't do. This business of mislaying things is getting under my skin. You're just as guilty as he is. What is the point of my buying expensive equipment if you two simply turn round and lose it? You'll agree. It's got to stop. Now, you may wonder why it is that I never leave anything behind on the job. Hmm?
Yes, I was going to mention that.
Concentration. Whenever I put something down, I form a mental picture of the object. Which reminds me, you see, to pick it up again.
Oh, I see.
Perfectly simple once you get the knack.
I must try that.
Good. Excellent. Let's consider the subject closed. Just done a feces sample. Will you send it to the labs, please? Needs testing for Jonas disease.
Things people send through the post these days.
Never mind the wit. Check in the day book, see if there's anything else needs sending at the same time.
Oui, mon colonel.
James, what are you up to this afternoon?
I've got to do Thompson's horse.
Yeah, of course you have.
And I thought I'd test the door we heard.
Yeah, good idea. Get back as early as you can, will you? I've got a stack of late jobs lined up for after supper. I want your help.
Anything interesting?
No. Just sheer muscle, I'm afraid. Old Horace Dawson's milk cow Mabel's torn a teat. I shall need your help stitching it up. A nice sort of a cow, Mabel, but she goes frantic at the sight of a needle.
Fascinating.
Uh-huh. Let's have a mental picture, shall we?
I'll see you at supper. Hello, Charlie.
Now then, Mr. Elliot.
I've come to test the herd.
You'll find him down at bottom paddock yonder.
Oh, fine. Well, I'll just pay my respects first, and then we'll get down to work.
All right.
Afternoon, Mrs. Dolby.
Mr. Elliot, won't you come in?
Well, I just thought I'd say hello before I get down to work.
Oh, you sit down. Tea will be brewed in no time.
Well, I've got my boots on.
Oh, hush now. You sit.
Thank you.
Billy and William are out working, I'm afraid. Still, I'm sure you'll see them before you go.
Yes.
There now. Here's all your extra bits.
I'll spoil my supper if I eat all that, Mrs.
Oh,
Dolby.
stuff and nonsense. Our Billy, he can put twice that much away between meals.
Oh.
You eat up now.
I need to twist my arm. It looks delicious. Mmm. Now that you've got the herd, I suppose you'll be taking on extra help.
It'll be a long time before we can afford out like that, Mr. Elliot.
It's a lot of work for one man, isn't it?
Oh, we're not doing too badly. There's William. And Charlie comes over from time to time. And, of course, I'm out there as well. So, you see, we're quite well off for hands. There now, just let it brew a minute.
Well, I expect Billy could use all the help he can get.
Aye. Well, it's Billy who keeps the whole thing running, if you know what I mean. He's always planning, always doing. Of course, it's not been easy for him this past year. Finding money for cows, And now getting barn ready for winter. He's hardly taken time off for sleep these past months. Still, work's got to be done. I know that.
You've got yourself a good man there.
I have that. It's just winter that's worse, Mr. Elliot. Keeping cows fed and sheltered through snows. Still, God willing, we'll come through it.
I'm sure you will, Mrs. Dilby.
Come on, James. No need to make a banquet of that supper.
Coming. What's the first job?
Joe Kendall, one of his cows has developed some sort of tumour.
Right.
Come on, James!
Hello, hello. I see you've got extra manpower this evening, Mr. Farnan.
Lead on, Mr. Kendall. No time for chit-chat at this late hour.
Right, Squire. Oh, something for you. You left them last time, didn't you?
Thank you. Where's the car?
Aye, and while I'm on, you left your bloodless castrators time before that. You never come here without leaving summer, do you, Mr. Farnan?
Really? Well, let's get on, let's get on.
If I'd have kept them all, I'd had a drawer full by now.
Is that so?
Aye, and it's just same with old neighbours. Never called without leaving a souvenir, do you, Mr. Farnan?
Where's the damn cow, Kendall? Haven't got all night, you know.
There he is, Mr. Farnan. How are you going to get that lump off, then, Mr. Farnan? He'll need axe or a carving knife. But job, I reckon.
Right, Mr. Kendall. Anything else want doing while we're here?
No. Just lump on cow there.
The tumour? Oh, that's gone.
Gone? Gone, you say? By God, you're right. I never saw you use a knife, Mr. Farnan.
I didn't, Mr. Kendall.
Well, I'm danged if I can see how you got it off without using a knife.
Tricks of the trade, eh?
But it can't just vanish. What you done with it?
I told you, it's gone.
I've never seen aught like it. How the hell did you do it?
If I told you that, I'd be out of a job, wouldn't I?
But look, we're there. I saw it with my own eyes.
Well, if that's all, we'll be saying good night, Mr. Kendall.
Aye, good night to thee and all.
What did happen back there?
He's a bit of a know-all, is old Joe Kendall. It'll drive him crazy for weeks not knowing how I did it and where the tumour got to.
Where did the tumour get to?
Well, I felt it move the moment I started to examine it. And when I squeezed it, it just popped out and shot up my sleeve. There it is. At any rate, it'll keep him guessing, that's for sure.
By the way, I'm glad you got your stethoscope back.
Oh, yes. Oh, a moment of forgetfulness there. Shan't stray again.
Is this what you're looking for? I've been practicing your mental image system, Siegfried. It works, you know.
It's a bad tear, Horace. Goes right into the milk channel.
Reckon Mabel would agree with that, Mr. Farnan.
Yes, going to need a good few stitches in there. I'll just give her something so she won't feel any pain. I hope her temper's improved, Horace.
She's as gentle as a lamb, Mr. Farnan.
Wasn't all that gentle last time, was she?
Reckon he caught her on an off day, Mr. Farnan.
Right. You hold that tight to James. let your attention wander for just a moment, she'll have you. Right, Horace, hold that tail if you will, please. Tightly, James, please. Easy, girl. Easy, easy. Won't take long. All right, girl, not very nice, I know, but you'll feel better with this inside you. Hush, girl. Easy. Easy. Easy there. Grab her, James. Got her. Got her.
All right.
Bloody, but unbroken, I think. Oh, she'll be all right. It's just getting the needle in that first time causes all the trouble.
Reckon you touched her on a tender spot, Mr. Farnham.
I suppose I did, Horace. Well, we just give the local a few minutes to work, and then I'll stitch her up.
Evening, Alice.
Good evening, Claude.
Gentlemen.
You're a bit off your beat, aren't you?
So, Horace is light. Thought he'd have someone on that'd need a hand.
No, thanks, Mr. Blenkiron, but we've almost finished the job now.
Pity you weren't here a few moments earlier, Claude. You could have tucked Mabel under your arm while I injected her.
Right then, I'll be on my way back to Derby. Good night.
Good night.
Oh, hang on a moment, Claude. Would you give Mr. Harriet a lift back with you?
No, it's all right, Siegfried.
No, I just wanted a hand with Mabel here. I've only got one more visit tonight. I can deal with that. Besides, we need someone back at Skeldale to man the fort.
Fine with me, Mr. Farnham.
Are you sure you don't need me?
No, off you go.
Oh, thanks, Siegfried. I'll be right with you, Mr. Blenkiron.
Night, Claude.
Good night.
Good night. You've been away for a bit, haven't you?
Aye, Leeds. Defending my title, I was.
What title is that, Mr. Blenkiron?
Northern Heavyweight Champion Wrestler, Mr. Elliot.
Oh. How did it go?
Reckon I'm still champion. Hey, up!
My God! We're at Rains Abbey. That's the monk, Mr. Blenkiron.
Ghost, eh? Come on, let's get the bugger. Come on, Mr. Elliot! Quick, Elliot! Go on the other side and cut him off!
What happens if we get him?
We'll skin the joker alive! Come on, let's have it!
Thank you.
Come on, lad, shift yourself! Come, move!
All right, I'm going, Mr. Blenkiron. There he is. Watch that branch, Mr. Blenkiron.
Come on, lad, ease up. Come on.
Listen.
He's given us the slip. Come on, Mr. Elliot. No sense hanging about here. I've been off that joker for some days now. So don't you worry. I'm not in yet.
So you are the Rains ghost.
Afraid so.
I should have known. I really should have known you'd have done something stupid like this.
It was only a lark, James.
A lark? You nearly frightened me to death the other night.
I'm sorry, James, I am really. My God, that gorilla Blenkiron would have torn me to shreds if he'd got hold of me.
I've got a good mind to tell him. No. I have a much better idea. I'll leave you to Siegfried.
Oh, now, please.
The hell were you up to anyway?
Shh. It's only a lark, James, I told you. Work to. Of course, I always chose my victims carefully. I always thought Tom Weatherby could do with a shock for one.
And me too, I suppose.
Well, I couldn't resist it, James. Anyway, it was getting the timing right that mattered. You know, when the drivers aren't sure whether they've seen you or not, then you see them revving up and herring off. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. It was a crazy thing to do.
You had better get out of those things before you catch your death.
Yes,
And I'm
James.
warning you, Tristan. If that Rains ghost ever appears again, you are for it, understand?
Don't worry, James. That ghost is well and truly buried.
Charlie? Charlie?
Mr. Elliot. Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Well, I was just passing. I thought I'd look in to see how things were.
That's kind of you. You sit down. I'll make you a pot of tea.
No, it's all right, really.
Please, Mr. Elliot. Besides, I was just going to get one for myself.
Has Billy managed to get the hard standing for the Barnes laid yet?
No, not finished. William and Charlie are out.
Oh, hello, Mr. Harry.
Hello, William. You look as if you're hard at it.
Charlie and me are finishing off the barns, aren't we, ma'am?
Aye, and you make sure you make a proper job of it.
Dad showed us how. Any road, we need more cement. Will you order it for us?
Your father ordered some. Should be here tomorrow, I expect.
As long as you have the job done before Dad gets back. Bye, Mr. Harriet.
Bye, William. Billy's away, is he?
He's in hospital.
Hospital?
Aye. Happened 2 days ago. He'd been out, working all hours. Got himself a right soaking. He were taken very poorly. William thinks it's just something small. That Billy'll be back soon. But I don't know. Doctors say he's really bad.
Do they know what it is?
Aye. Pneumonia. Worst kind of pneumonia at that.
How's it feel, James? Just, your secret? Do you recall that I asked you to post certain items a few days ago?
The sample to the lab and the ointment to Cranford.
Exactly.
Well, I did. I posted them both off the same day.
Yeah. Quite a simple operation, one might suppose. 2 items, 2 labels. You simply wrap them up and post them, and that's it.
Exactly. So what's wrong?
What's wrong, he says. See this? It's a letter from Isaac Cranford containing enough venom, enough poison to wither a city.
Oh, what's he complaining about now?
What's he complaining about? Well, he's complaining about opening your package and smearing the contents liberally over his pig and working it well in with his fingers 4 times a day, as instructed. And then finding that it isn't an ointment after all.
What was it?
Infected cow dung! The infected feces sample you should have sent to the labs.
God, I sent in the wrong package.
Yes, you botched it. Keep smearing it on day after day to miracle the wretched man isn't a disease wreck by now. Interesting, too, to speculate how the labs are getting on testing the ointment for Jonas disease.
I'm sorry, Siegfried.
You hear that, James? He says he's sorry. Sorry, man. Well, it's not for you to be sorry. I just looked in to congratulate you. Isaac Cranford says he will never, ever do business with us again. You're a genius, Tristan, a genius. You've got rid of the old vulture at last. Huh?